Level 1. Item Summoning. Item summoning is a cool and super useful jutsu that works through a special sealing technique. Basically, a ninja can store tons of weapons inside small paper scrolls, or even just a strip of cloth wrapped around their wrist. When it's time to fight, with just a quick flick, the entire arsenal appears instantly. This gives the ninja a massive tactical advantage that's really hard to counter. Take Tenten, for example. She's absolutely one of the best at using this technique. In her fight against Temari during the Chunin Exams, she literally turned herself into a human weapon launcher. Kunai, shuriken, iron rods, scythes, and even huge iron balls came flying out non-stop, creating a terrifying storm of steel. That's the true power of turning limited space into unlimited resources. Sasuke also showed how deadly this jutsu can be. He combined item summoning with his Sharingan, letting him summon shuriken from his wrist in an instant, then control them with crazy precision. This combo turns basic attacks into unpredictable killing moves. But the real strength of level 1 isn't just about how many weapons you can summon, it's also about surprise and flexibility. The enemy has no idea what weapon you'll summon, how many, or from where. That's exactly why even powerful ninjas like Hashirama never underestimate this jutsu. Still, just like any other technique, item summoning has its clear limits. It depends totally on the user's strategy and timing. If you're up against someone with strong defense, like Temari and her massive wind fan, the effect drops a lot. That's also why level 1 is usually more useful in Genin or Chunin level battles. You know, there are some creatures that only a few shinobi can summon. Giant toads, divine snakes, terrifying beasts. They're not just weapons, they're a part of each ninja's identity. Only those with true strength and deep understanding can call them forth. But let's be honest, not everyone really knows all the levels of summoning in Naruto. So let's break it down together. We'll dig deep, look at the hidden details, and help you feel like you're living inside the ninja world. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos that hit you in the feels, and blow your mind with things you might have missed before. Don't just watch Naruto, understand Naruto. Now, let's move to Level 2, Summoning Creatures. If level 1 amazed you with a rain of weapons, then level 2 will definitely blow your mind with living creatures being summoned to the battlefield. This is a major upgrade in summoning arts. Ninjas are no longer limited to lifeless objects. Now, they can call out creatures that move and fight on their own. The biggest difference with level 2 is that it's active and alive. Unlike kunai or shuriken that just fly in one direction, these creatures can move by themselves, change attack patterns, and even chase down targets. For example, Sasuke summoned Garuda, a powerful bird that could support him mid-battle. Itachi, on the other hand, used flocks of crows in a totally different way. His crows became tools for deadly genjutsu, creating sudden, confusing illusions that left enemies totally lost. Oh, and let's not forget, he had one special crow carrying Shisui's legendary eye inside it. Orochimaru turned this level into pure horror. His poisonous snakes weren't just creepy, they were deadly assassins. At one point, he even summoned an entire wall of wriggling snakes to attack Naruto when he was in Four Tails mode. Nightmare fuel, honestly. Then there's Kitamaru, who showed that size doesn't always matter. He dropped a ton of tiny spiders from above, creating a huge web trap. It forced Neji to use Kaiten just to break free. Otherwise, he'd be totally caught. But the most terrifying summon of all? That's gotta be Kisame's sharks. In water, Kisame was absolutely unbeatable. His sharks moved fast, attacked hard, and turned every drop of water into a battlefield of death. It was honestly terrifying. Still, level 2 has its clear limits. Most of these creatures only follow simple commands or instincts. They're not great at handling complex strategies. Against skilled defenders like Neji with the Byakugan, or against high-level jutsu, their effectiveness drops noticeably. But don't underestimate level 2. These creatures can easily mess with your mind and throw off your rhythm. They're simple, but always effective. And if these small animals can already bring so much power, just imagine what happens when a ninja summons an actual warrior, one who can think, talk, and fight with full intelligence. Level 3, Summoning Battle Beasts. Welcome to Level 3, the point where summoning starts to get seriously scary. If Level 2 was just about birds or snakes acting on instinct, then Level 3 is a whole different game. Now we're talking about real warriors. Smart, loyal, and sometimes even sassy enough to argue with their own summoner. Just look at Kakashi's ninja dogs, the Ninken. Pakun and his crew are definitely not your average puppies. These are trained four-legged ninjas who can actually talk, sniff out enemies, and fight like a squad of professionals. Remember the fight with Zabuza? The whole place was covered in thick mist, so no one could see anything, but Kakashi's dogs used their amazing sense of smell to track Zabuza down. Pakun called out the location, and the others instantly pinned Zabuza down by biting his arms and legs, turning the scary assassin into a sitting duck. Brutal, but clean. Jiraiya also showed us how powerful level 3 can be. He summoned little frogs like Gamatotsu, and yeah, they look small and kinda goofy, but don't be fooled. This tiny frog can spit oil with crazy accuracy. When Jiraiya mixed that oil with his fire-style jutsu, boom, the flames went wild, burning everything in their way. This is what makes level 3 so different. It's all about teamwork and real strategy, not just throwing out monsters and hoping for the best. The coolest part of these mid-level summons is their intelligence and unique personalities. They're not just tools, they're teammates. That's why you usually only see elite ninjas using them. But level 3 still has its limits. These summons are amazing at support, scouting, or disabling enemies, but they can't really go 1 versus 1 with top-tier bosses. They help boost their summoner's power, but they're not game changers on their own. At the end of the day, level 3 summons are like turning one ninja into a mini strike team. And if tiny dogs and baby frogs can help that much, just imagine what happens when a ninja summons a giant beast strong enough to crush an army. Level 4, mid-tier battle beasts. Now we're entering level 4, the stage where summoning starts showing its destructive power. This is the level top-tier ninjas use to prove they're not playing around. The creatures summoned here are huge, dangerous, and totally capable of changing the flow of a battle. Let's start with Enma, the legendary Monkey King, summoned by the third Hokage, Hiruzen. Okay, Enma isn't super big like some others, but this guy is absolutely a warrior. He has decades of battle experience, and his main ability? He can transform into the adamantine staff, a super hard, diamond-like weapon that can grow, shrink, and move on its own. This staff isn't just a tool, it literally thinks and fights alongside Hiruzen. During the massive battle with Orochimaru, Enma held his own against the deadly Kusanagi sword and 2 reanimated Hokage. That's insane. Then we've got Temari's summon, Kamaitachi, a huge weasel with a blade for a tail. When Temari swings her fan, Kamaitachi unleashes razor-sharp winds that can literally slice through forests. This combo was so deadly, they took out Tayuya in one single blow. That's some next-level teamwork right there. Hanzo and his salamander Ibuse showed another side of level 4, battlefield control. Ibuse can release toxic gas that paralyzes entire squads within seconds. Even skilled fighters turn completely helpless once that poison hits. It's not flashy, but super effective. What really makes level 4 special is this: these summons can act independently. They're not just backup, they can lead the fight and make game-changing moves on their own. They have enough raw power to take on some of the strongest ninjas head-on. Of course, level 4 isn't unstoppable. When you're up against god-tier stuff like tailed beasts or forbidden jutsu, even these summons hit their limits. But in most battles, this is as strong as it gets for regular shinobi. It's the sweet spot where brains, brawn, and summoning magic all come together. Level 5, Giant Summoning Beasts. We've finally reached the top of the summoning world, level 5, where massive, mountain-sized monsters appear and completely change the game. This level is only for legendary ninjas, the Hokage, the Sannin, or someone like Pain, not your average shinobi. Take Manda, Orochimaru's giant snake. This beast is hundreds of meters long and has crazy physical power. It can crush buildings, wrap around enemies, and basically destroy everything in its path. In the legendary Sannin battle, Manda went head-to-head with Gamabunta and Katsuyu, creating one of the most epic fights in the entire series. And don't forget, Manda has a nasty attitude. He doesn't blindly follow orders and will totally snap at his summoner if he's not happy. Then there's Gamakichi, Naruto's massive toad. He shows another side of level 5, a perfect mix of size, power, and skill. Not only is he huge, but he's also surprisingly good with swordsmanship and powerful jutsu, even Sage Mode. He literally went one-on-one with a full-form One-Tail and held his own. On the other hand, Lady Katsuyo, summoned by Tsunade, proves that level 5 isn't all about destruction. She can split into thousands of mini-slugs, each able to heal injuries, deliver chakra, and protect people across a wide area. During Pain's attack on Konoha, Katsuyu literally saved the village by keeping everyone alive. She's more like a guardian angel than a monster. Now let's talk about Pain, the king of chaos. He summoned a whole zoo of giant beasts, and they were terrifying. There was a rhino that smashed through buildings, multi-headed dogs that kept respawning, and a giant bird that launched airstrikes from above. Within minutes, Konoha looked like a pile of rubble. It was absolutely devastating. What makes level 5 truly scary is its ability to change the scale of a battle. Once these giant creatures show up, normal ninja tactics just don't work anymore. You either bring out something equally powerful or run like crazy and try to survive. But even level 5 isn't the end. There are still creatures out there that go beyond even these monsters. Stronger, bigger, and way more terrifying. Level 6 Supernatural Summons. Now we've entered a completely different level, level 6. This is where summoning goes beyond normal creatures, reaching into the realm of supernatural beings and structures with godlike power. Only legendary ninjas can even think about using these summons. At this point, you're not just summoning animals, you're calling in monsters that can fight tailed beasts head-on. Take the five-fold Rashomon gates, for example. These are 5 massive gates that rise up like mountains. Each one is insanely durable, strong enough to block a direct attack from the Nine Tails combined with Susanoo. Yeah, that kind of combo would level a city, but the gates literally stood their ground. That's peak defense. Then there's the Gato statue, or the Outer Path Golem. When Nagato summoned this giant in his fight with Hanzo, it instantly sucked the souls out of an entire army. This statue is actually the shell of the Ten Tails, so its power is almost limitless. It can absorb chakra from every living thing nearby. Later, Obito used it to fight the entire allied shinobi forces by himself. And yeah, he kinda bullied them with just that one summon. Brutal stuff. What makes level 6 so scary is how unreal these things are. Unlike regular summons that you can hit or fight back, these beings are almost impossible to damage with normal attacks. They're more like ancient forces than living creatures. The impact of a level 6 summon on the battlefield is completely different from anything we've seen before. This isn't just power anymore. This is warping reality. Level 7 Forbidden Summons, when ninja break the rules of nature. We've now entered a terrifying new level, level 7. This is where the line between life and death is completely erased. Only the strongest, or most dangerous ninja dare to go here. Because at this point, summoning means calling back souls from the dead, using forbidden jutsu that literally mess with the laws of the universe. The most famous example? Edo Tensei, Reanimation Jutsu. This jutsu brings back dead ninjas in their original bodies, with all their powers intact. Kabuto pushed this to the extreme. He reanimated an entire army, Madara Uchiha, past Kage, legendary warriors. And they didn't just come back, they came back stronger, spamming jutsu and absolutely clapping the current generation like it was nothing. The scariest part of Edo Tensei is the true immortality. These revived shinobi can regenerate endlessly, no matter how badly they're damaged. They don't feel pain, they don't get tired, and they fight without holding back. When Madara was revived, he soloed the allied shinobi forces and basically became unstoppable. That's not a fight, that's a disaster in motion. And then, we have the Reaper Death Seal. This doesn't summon a person, it summons a god, the Shinigami, the literal god of death. This jutsu is a last resort, used by ninja who are willing to sacrifice everything. Once the Shinigami is called, it can seal away any soul. Tailed beast, legendary ninja, doesn't matter. But the cost is brutal. The user's soul gets taken too. So yeah, it's insanely powerful, but also a guaranteed death sentence. Level 7 changed the entire way battles worked in Naruto. Once these forbidden summons show up, normal strength means nothing. You need special strategies just to survive, whether it's dealing with immortal enemies or avoiding the grip of a literal death god. But even at the edge of life and death, level 7 still isn't the final limit of summoning. So the real question is, can you guess what the ultimate level looks like? Level 8, God Tier Summoning. Kaguya's Dimensional Power. Here it is, Level 8, the absolute peak of summoning jutsu. And guess what? Only one being in the entire Naruto world has ever done it. Kaguya Otsutsuki, the goddess of chakra. Forget everything you know about summoning. Kaguya doesn't call animals. She doesn't summon death gods. She is a god, and she summons entire dimensions. Her technique, Amenominaka, lets her instantly switch between 6 different dimensions. Each one is insanely dangerous. A burning desert, a freezing wasteland, an acid ocean, a gravity zone that crushes everything, and more. Imagine fighting her. 1 second you're on solid ground, the next you're falling into boiling lava. In the gravity realm, ninjas are almost completely frozen, perfect targets for her deadly attacks. The scariest part of a Menominaka? Total control. Kaguya controls the rules of the fight. She changes the battlefield whenever she wants, turning each dimension into a new weapon. Every shift forces her enemies to adapt instantly, or die trying. This power needs a near infinite amount of chakra, something only the chakra goddess herself could have. Kaguya didn't fight inside the ninja world. She made her own world to fight in. Even Naruto and Sasuke, with their full 6 paths powers, could barely survive. They only stood a chance because they worked together perfectly, and got a little lucky. That's why level 8 sits at the very top of the summoning system. It's not just about strength anymore. It's about rewriting reality to fit your will. Amenominaka proves that in the ninja world, there are powers far beyond anything human. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.